Good evening, Yu-Gi-Oh players and card collectors alike. Tonight, I am doing a deck profile for you guys. One of my many forbidden decks. Uh, this one's a bit of a sizable deck, so I don't want to waste too much time. I'm just going to let you know that it's a Dark Magician deck built kind of in the light of the fourth season of Yu-Gi-Oh! The original anime. So you're going to see a lot of cards from that arc, which I know a lot of people don't like that arc, but I happen to think it's one of the fun ones. And Raphael is my favorite character, so without that arc, I don't have him. Anyways, we'll start off with the monsters. And since we're doing the era of the uh, fourth arc, as I say, or fourth season, we're starting off with our legendary knights, Timaeus, Critias, and Hermos. One of each. Following that up, as I say, this is a Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl deck primarily. So I have 3 different Dark Magicians. All different artwork. And 3 Dark Magician Girls. Unfortunately, she doesn't have as many different artworks, so I opted to go for the same artwork. Next up, I have 2 Buster Bladers. And to help me get those guys out, we have 3 skilled Dark Magicians, and 2 skilled White Magicians. Now, the soul card in this deck is actually Dark Magician support as well, the Apprentice Illusion Magician. Now, as I've mentioned before, a soul card for me is the heart of the deck. It's the card I build the entire deck around. So while Dark Magician is the theme of the deck, this card here, I'll show you one more time. This card is the card that I actually built the whole deck around. I have a Magic Karibo that you saw me recently pull. I have 2 Magician Rods. And 2 Magician Robes. Next up, since the legendary dragons have a fusion aspect to them, and there's a lot of great Dark Magician fusions, I have a small fusion package. So we have the Light of the Hex Sealed Fusion, Dark Sage, Baby Dragon, Masaki, Flame Manipulator, Mirage Knight. And I forgot the other one. When I was separating them before, we of course also have a Time Wizard. Next up, since they have legendary dragons in this deck, I've added a small dragons package, not a very big one. I've got Vandalgoyan. I've got a Mirage Dragon. a Lancer Lindworm, a Bright Star Dragon, and an X Dragonoid. Sorry, one more. And a Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, which is always a nice little add-on. Ironically, this deck has no this extra deck will not have any synchros in it, but that's a good card for helping out with the Buster Blader. And finally, we have the Spellcaster Engine. So I have 3 of the P10 Dark Clown. Great way to get your field loaded up. I have 2 Breaker the Magical Warriors for helping to deal with the spells and traps that linger around. And then everyone else is just a 1 copy. We've got Mikhail, the Master of Barriers, Koyo, the Ghost Destroyer, a Crystal Seer, Dark Red Enchanter, Mystical Elf because it's classic Yugi. And this is actually one of my favorite cards. Man with WeChat, I have several copies of it in multiple different decks. You'll see as I go through. We've also got a Summoner Monk, and we're back to the beginning. So that's all the monsters in this. Moving on to the magic cards. We have 1 of all the 4 cards we need for the Legendary Dragon package. Legend of Heart, Fang of Critias, Eye of Timaeus, and Claw of Hermos. Then we have the Dark Magician package with Dark Magical Curtain, Dark Magic Expanded, Magician's Salvation, Dark Magic Attack, Magic Formula, Thousand Knives, and 2 Dark Magic Circles. Follow that up with our fusion package. We have a Magicalized Fusion, a Polymerization Classic, and a Fusion Deployment just to help us get the Dark Magician or Buster Blader out on the field that much easier as well. We also have a couple of cards that work well with spellcasters. We have Diffusion Wave Motion, and we have a Magical Dimension. And then these are just some generic spells I threw in that seemed on theme. Spiritualism, Chaos Space, Reload, Magical Stone Excavation, Monster Reborn, and a Super Magic Sword of Raptinus. So that takes care of the spells in the deck. Moving on to the traps, we have the 3 includes for the Fang of Critias, specifically. Then we have our Dark Magician core, not as many cards this time. Magician Navigation, Magician's Combination, and External Soul. We have a Dark Renewal, Black Illusion, and a Magician's Defense for extra spellcaster support. Recently, I found out about Magic Cylinders, so I added it in to support my Magic Cylinder. And then the rest are all just generic traps that I really like and felt synergized well with a Dark Magician deck. So I have a Grand Horn of Heaven, Time Space Trap Hole, 7 Tools of the Bandit, a Magic Jammer, Magical Hats, Malevolent Catastrophe, Heavy Storm Duster, Pitch Black Power Stone, and that's the end of it. So those are all the traps. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the extra deck. I'm going to show you the two least the cards that people are not going to consider being part of a Dark Magician core. I've got a Down Nerd Magician, and I have a Proxy F Magician to help with the fusion summoning. And then we have the rest of our cards. I'll just go through them one at a time. I have the Dark Magicians. I have Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Amulet Dragon. Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Tyrant Burst Dragon. Doom Virus Dragon. Mirror Force Dragon. Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. Time Magic Hammer. Rocket Hermos Cannon. Goddess Bow. This is a really fun card to play. Time Wizard of Tomorrow. I've got the classic Thousand Dragon in there. The Flame Swordsman's in there, and the reason for that is because we also have the Dark Flare Knight in there. And then we wrap it out with 2 Dark Paladins. Different art on those. And that's the deck. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I would really appreciate likes and comments. And take care of yourselves, guys. We'll see you next time.